Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, now at 6, fire crews continue working to contain the Hawthorne brush fire. It's been burning in Berlin for 4 days now. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bureau. Officials say more than 100 acres have been charred by the flames. Crews from nearby states are being called in to help with the firefight from New Hampshire, Maine, and New York. The Connecticut National Guard has dropped more than 51,000 gallons of water as ground crews use hose lines to get hot spots. Right now, there's still no word on exactly what sparked the fire.
Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc is hearing from neighbors and from firefighters involved in the operation.
All day Thursday, 3 helicopters circled the mountain, dropping thousands of gallons of water on the fire, which is still active at this point, with hot spots like those popping up every now and again. And those who live with their backs to the mountain tell us they couldn't be more appreciative of the work firefighters are doing. 3 days after the Hawthorne brush fire started on Berlin's Lamentation Mountain, fire crews from Connecticut, New Hampshire, and Maine are still energized to get the job done.
We're going to keep up our tempo. We're going to continue pushing the resources we have here.
Those fighting the fire on foot are hiking up the mountain, now using dozers to clear paths and dig hot spots out. All while up in the air, 2 helicopters from our National Guard are dropping more than 50,000 gallons of water with help from a 3rd helicopter from Maine.
The drops help cool the area, but it's still going to take footwork and hiking and a lot of boots on the ground to get in there and continue to access the hot spots.
Something neighbors who live close to the mountain appreciate.
You can wake me up like that. When they're fighting that fire, you can wake me up in the morning. Yeah, they're going around. We're so happy they're here.
Mark Russick lives with his back to the bottom of the mountain in a community called Regency at Berlin. Seeing the work firsthand calms the concern he had in the beginning.
The mountain was glowing. I mean, it was amazing how red it was and the flames and the smoke.
And while most of that has subsided and nobody has been asked to evacuate, it forced Russick to come up with an escape plan just in case.
What do? You live in Connecticut. You don't think about evacuating from a forest fire.
Still, he feels confident that these crews have it covered.
Here's all these firefighters up on the mountain doing what they're doing, and they are at risk, but we don't think about that. We think about, wow, what a great job they're doing. They're going to make us safe, keeping them in their hearts all the time.
Now, since the crews here have been relying on help from other states, they told us they have made a formal request, a verbal request through FEMA to try to get some help to pay for some of those outside resources, which they say is tallying up to hundreds of thousands of dollars so far. We will keep you updated on that process. For now, we're in Berlin. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Julia. Our team is committed to following this fire until it's out. Keep up with us on air, online, and streaming 24/7 on Fox 61 Plus for updates.
Time now for a check on our forecast, and the good news is for those firefighters, it's less hot today. It's a little cool, and that might help their firefight.
It might. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frame joining us now. Rach?
Yeah, and it looks like the wind is going to diminish in a big way heading into the day tomorrow, so that will be beneficial as well. We were cooler outside today, by no means cold, just cooler than it has been, and temperatures will only continue to drop tonight. So we're looking at overnight lows in the 30s to around 40 as we head towards daybreak tomorrow, although staying in the 40s for the Connecticut shoreline. We've got temperatures in the 60s for most of the state, but 50s for Waterbury and for Torrington. At this time yesterday, we were still seeing some temperatures in the 70s, so we're anywhere between 2 to 10 degrees cooler than this exact time yesterday. Here's a look at those winds, still gusting up between 10 and 25 miles an hour, but those winds will gradually diminish as we head through the evening tonight. And again, I think we get a break from the wind tomorrow. We'll see overnight overnight lows dipping back into the 30s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. So a cooler start and overall a cooler finish too. I think we'll shave another few degrees off the high temperature tomorrow, although technically still a few degrees above average. Lower to middle 60s will do it for Branford, for Middletown, 63 for a high temperature in Waterbury tomorrow, right around 60 in Windham, lower 60s in Lyme, and right around 60 degrees in Winsted and Burlington. Heading into Saturday, we're looking at similar temperatures, but we'll get another shot of cool air on Sunday. We'll talk about your full weekend forecast coming up.
Rachel, thank you. Funeral services are now set for the Wethersfield firefighter who died in a crash while responding to the brush fire. Visitation for Robert Sharkovich Sr. will take place Sunday afternoon at Farley Sullivan Funeral Home in Wethersfield. The funeral will take place Monday morning at the Cathedral of St. Joseph in Hartford. Sharkovich, known to many as Sharky, served in Hartford for 24 years before joining the Wethersfield Volunteer Fire Department.
New tonight, a man is dead after the motorcycle he was riding crashed with a car in Plainville. It happened just after noon on Route 72 in the area of exits 4A and 4B. Troopers say the motorcycle rear-ended the car before crashing into a metal guardrail. The driver of the car was not hurt. The motorcyclist has now been identified as Peter Bienes of Plainville. If you saw this crash happen, you're asked to give state police a call. We now know the name of the man killed in an industrial accident in Berlin. Police say 66-year-old David Dion died after getting trapped under a payloader. It happened at a recycling facility Tuesday. No charges have been filed. OSHA is now helping with the investigation.
And one person was taken to the hospital after an early morning crash in Ashford. It happened just before 6:30 on Westford Road. Officials say a car hit a pole, knocking down some wires. No word on the extent of their injuries right now, and no other cars were involved. Route 89 was closed for some time as police and Eversource responded to that scene.
New tonight at 6, we're learning more about the plan to replace an iconic diner with a fast food restaurant.
And Newington's Planning and Zoning Commission met last night and heard from both the owners of the Olympia Diner and the company looking to redevelop the property.
Fox 61's Matt Karen explains why the diner is likely in its final days.
Since 1954, the Olympia Diner has been an iconic fixture of the Berlin Turnpike and the community of Newington. Owned by 3 separate families from generation to generation. But now the owners say they're tired and after 5 years of searching have found a buyer. Thought to be the longest stainless steel modular meal unit in America, the Olympia Diner means much.
It's a tradition, you know.
Too many.
17, I started coming here, and I'm 70.
A fixture of Americana.
There's not many left around here.
A neon sign that beckons the midnight truckers.
When we were younger, this was the spot to come after you went out partying. We'd all hit this place. We knew everybody. We'd have breakfast and chit-chat.
Even the location of movie scenes, like Jackknife with Robert De Niro.
Being almost 70, my era is this. And like we're totally losing everything we knew growing up. So it's very sad, very sad.
But now the owners say it's time for a change.
Yeah, there's going to be a change. It's time for a change. Maybe like the saying goes, sooner or later, every performer takes a bow and gets off the stage. And that's where we're at.
Stavros and Tassos Gavrilis spoke at Wednesday's Newington Planning and Zoning meeting.
Well, the way we see it is Arista is helping us with the next move in life.
Arista is the Massachusetts-based company that's agreed to buy the property with plans to redevelop it into a fast food restaurant.
Just to keep adding these chains and just keep putting more money in these rich people's pockets. Honestly, I don't think it should happen.
But before the sale moves forward, Arista is asking the town to lift a restriction that bans them from developing within 35 feet of the road.
So about 25% of our sites, under your regulations, we can do nothing with other than plant grass.
The Newington Planning and Zoning Commission has yet to vote on Arista's request for a variance. It also still remains unclear what would happen to the historic physical structure of this diner and if there possibly would be a way to preserve it or even move it. Reporting in Newington, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.